Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Monday, June the 5th, ninth week of Ordinary Time now. And today is the feast of Saint Boniface, martyr, considered the apostle to Germany, and I believe I think he's attributed with actually uniting the tribes and being one of the founders of the German nation. Okay, the first reading is taken from the book of Tobit, and it's a lengthy reading, so I'll just try to point out key sections for your reflection. So Tobias says to his son, "Go, my child, and bring whatever poor person you may find of our people among the exiles in Nineveh, who is wholeheartedly mindful of God, and he shall eat together with me." A corporal work of mercy. Then, after they're eating, he tells his son tells him, "Son, he's been murdered." Then he goes and he buries the person. And I guess this was, he had actually be killed for this. So he has to do it under the stealth of night. Now his neighbors know he's done it, but thankfully the authorities don't know he's done it. And the sad thing is, excuse me, basically his neighbors laugh at him. When the sun was set, I set and dug a grave and buried him, and my neighbors laughed and said, "Is he still not afraid? He has already been hunted down and put to death, and to be put to death for doing this, and he ran away." So we've got a righteous man here in the Old Testament that's really a model for us in the New Testament. He's a man who is, his life is totally dedicated to God while living out his regular secular activities, his duties, being a worker, a husband, a father, but God is really central in his life. And as a result of this, he's mindful of what we would call the corporal works of mercy, sharing his abundance with others, those who are in need, and taking care of the corporal works of mercy, in this case, also not only the poor, but also burying the dead, even at a high cost, which is really important for us and a real model for us to imitate. You know, when it comes to praying for the dead, burying the dead, of course, it's pretty natural to us and we're not going to be punished for it, but it's still a model to sort of ignite us to be conscientious of doing the corporal works of mercy. Okay, over to the gospel. Mark chapter 12. This is the parable of the man planting a vineyard, puts a fence around it, and then wants his produce. He sends people to get the produce and they mistreat them, they hurt them, then he sends his son and they kill him. And then, what will he do? What will the owner of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the tenants and give the vineyard to others. Have you not read in the scripture, Jesus says to the Pharisees, the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. This was the Lord's doing, and it is amazing in our eyes. Then, of course, they know he's talking about them. So a point for our reflection, for your reflection, is the Lord continues to send his prophets. You know, they could be around us, people who are speaking the truth. Remember, we're all, in our baptism, we have received the office of priest, prophet, and king as it applies to our lay state or clerical state, to the royal priesthood and or to the ministerial priesthood. Essentially, a prophet is one who, you know, basically speaks the truth. At times they're given the gift of being able to prophesy the future, but for the most part they hold a mirror up to society and up to people to actually look at what they're doing, because we can be very easily blinded by our own defects, and then we justify them if we're not careful, if we don't have people around us correcting us. It's very easy just to say, you know, not allow this to happen. And it's a very dangerous thing in terms of our eternal salvation, but even in terms of our earthly happiness. We have to be willing to have people, you know, give them permission to correct us, as painful and as unpleasant as this will be. So he continues to he sent them prophets and they killed them. That he knows they're going to kill him because they won't listen to him. And you and I are sent prophets, people around us perhaps, but even on a higher level, you know, the magisterium, the popes who have prophesied things, you know, about our society, about what is necessary, about the need to follow Jesus and adhere to the teaching of the church on matters essential for salvation. So let us really give Jesus permission to form us so that we are teachable. God bless you.